Now let us try to plot the graph. So these are the things you need. You need your calculator in place in order to be able to plot your graph. You need your graph book, then you need uh your table of value data in order to be able to plot the graph. So we are plotting resistance against these against resistance inverse against L inverse. So let's try to draw our axis. Let's try to draw our axis. So I need a ruler in order to do this. So you are going to leave 2 centimeter from the left hand side. If you leave 2 centimeter from the left hand side, then you draw a straight line down. Then you leave 2 centimeter from below as well. So let's bring our ruler. Let me bring the ruler down. Then this is our horizontal axis. This arrow is very important. It shows direction. Then you can remember to indicate that you are starting your graph from the origin by putting 0 coordinate 0 in brackets in the origin. The next thing is, how do I know what to put on the scale? Like I said earlier, it depends on the nature of the table and the size of the graph. So this is the size of my graph. So I have to count. I want to leave it into 2 centimeter. So this is 1 centimeter. This is 2 centimeter. Now, how many 2 centimeter can I locate on this vertical axis? And then how many 2 centimeter can I locate on the horizontal axis? This is what I'm going to be working with. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then here I have 1. Okay, let me finish with the vertical axis first. Then we repeat the same thing on the horizontal axis. So I have 6 of the 2 centimeter here. Then the next thing is I'm going to bring up my calculator and look at the highest number here. The highest number I'm having on the vertical. Okay, before that, remember to put your quantity, the quantity you are plotting, R inverse together with the units. The unit is in ohm, is in per ohm. And here we have L inverse in centimeter raised to the power of 1. Now let's try to see what we are now talking about. This is our calculator. Then we have the highest data on the table on the column here is 1000. Then you now say 1000. You pick the highest number divided by how many of 2 centimeter do you count on this particular axis. And I've counted 6. Let's count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you divide it by how many? 6. When you divide it, this is going to give you the range, not the scale. Take note of this. It's going to give you the range of the scale, but not the scale. When you are choosing your scale, you have to choose the most convenient number possible. Let's see, we have 166.66. So now having 166.66, if you look at this very well, the most convenient number to choose it because it's only giving me the range, not the scale. So if I say I want to pick, I can either pick 100, 150 or 200, but 150 is not going to be as convenient as 100 or 200. So I will ignore the 150. Now, picking 100 will be too small for me to be able to accommodate the entire table on the graph. Let's look at what I'm talking about. Assuming that I'm using 100 to represent each of the 2 centimeter for 1 unit. We have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, and I'm going to 1000. So which means it's not going to work for me. So what if I choose 200? 200 will definitely work for me. I will get to 1000 before exhausting the entire page of the graph. 200, 400, 600, 800, 1000, 1000. I will even get above that, which is very, very good. So which means in this case now, I'll have here, I'm going to be having my scale to be 200, 400, 600, and we have 800, we have 1000, and then we have 1200. We have 1200. So this scale has been correctly chosen and nicely chosen. Now let's come to the horizontal axis. We'll repeat the same thing. We bring our calculator up. When you bring your calculator up, then let's clear the calculator, and then we're coming to horizontal this time. Let's count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I'm gonna say it's 8 to avoid not leaving any space from the right hand side. 8. So what's the highest number? We have 2385 is the highest number here. 2385 divided by 8, and that gives us 298. This is very nice. So the closest number I can easily pick here is 300. I don't need to even think twice. So we have 300, we have 600. Sorry, that's not supposed to be there. 300, we have 600, then we have 900. I think this should be 1200. This should be 1500, and this should be 1800. This should be 2100, if I'm not mistaken, and this will be 2400, because the interval between them will have to be balanced. They have to be equal. So this is 2000. Is this 2000? Okay, this is 2400. Now, the next thing, after you might have established this, in order to enjoy your work, the next thing is to establish what each of these simple and very tiny line, which are up to 10 between them, is representing. Now, how do you get that? By just dividing the first data here by 10, because if you count from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 10. So counting up to 10 means that you have to get what each of the lines is representing out of 300, you have to divide 300 by 10. Doing 300 by 10 means here we're just going to a kind of like try to we'll try to just show it. I don't want to show it on the graph, but I will try to just try to indicate it on the graph. So now trying to indicate it on the graph means I can pick something like this in order to indicate it. So here on this axis I have 30. I'm still going to clean it. Okay, don't let me put it there. Let me put it here. I have 30. Then here I have 200 divided by 10. If you count this one too, from here to 200, it is still 10. And then we have 20 if you divide 200 by 10. So which means if you want to get to any of the line in between those data you've installed on the table, then you can easily get to it by remembering that the 20 is representing each of these lines representing 20, and each of these lines representing 30. So the next thing is to swift into action and plot your graph. Now let's see how you plot your graph very quickly. So I think by now you may not need your ruler. You can just push your ruler aside. Just push your ruler aside, and then you continue to use it. So the first data we have 33 against 1126. 33 against 1126. Your calculator is also very important here. 33 against 1126. How do we get to 33 if this is 20? So we can easily say that 33 is like in between Um okay, let's take a look at what we're talking about. This is 20, this is 40. So which means 33 can be approximately in between 30 and 40. This is the first line is 20, the next line is supposed to be 40, and we're talking of 33, which is approximately 30. So it means it's going to fall in between. It's not going to fall on the line, but in between the first line and the second line. So let me use a dot to just indicate it so that I will not be finding it. So that I will not be finding it. Okay. Um let me erase this dot. So means I'm coming to this line. I'm gonna clean it later. You can just use your pencil to indicate it so that you don't have to start finding which point have you located or which particular region you have located the stuff before now. Now let's look at the second one. We have 100, 1126, 1126, 1126. That will be in between here and here because this is 1200 and this is 900, 1126. Let's look at what we're talking about. Now, from 900, you can try to jump into the middle and see by doing what? By saying each of these representing 30, 30 times 5 give us 150. So it means that each of the half is 150. If you add it to the 900, let's see what you get. 150 plus, we have 150 plus 900. That gives us 1050. It's okay. I think what we are trying to see now is that 1126 is closer to 1200 than the 900. So, okay, why not we come this way? Let me erase this. I have 1200 is here. Then 1126. Okay, let me start subtracting 30. If I subtract 30, it means I'm coming back from 1200 to 1270. So like that, and like that. So let's see. We have 1200. 1200 minus 30. That gives us 1170 minus 30. 1140. 1140. So I've just counted two lines. So, and what's the difference between 1140 and 1126? You can find it. Minus 1126. That's 14. If that's 14, it means that there is almost half between the difference. So which means if this is 1000, let's do it again. 1200 minus 30, that's 1170 here, minus another 30, that's 1140 in the next line. So since the difference is now 15, okay, let's say minus 30. You see? Okay, let's come back to plus 30 to bring it back to where it is. Then let's say minus 15. You see, this is 1126. It's very close. So which means it's going to be in the middle as well of between the second line and the third line this time around. So we are going to now locate it to somewhere here and establish our points. I think this should be very clear now. So let's get to 1128. How do we get to one? Okay, let's start. This is 50. How do we get to 50? 50 is gonna be 50 will be, if this is 20, this is 40, and this will be 60. That means 50 is exactly going to be in between the second line and the third line. The second line and the third line. Let's do it again. This is 20, this is 40, this should be 60, and since the data on the table is 50, so it means that it has to fall between 40 and 50. So that one is located somewhere here. And then let's locate the 1182. 1182. 1182. That one is still falling within 1200. Bring up your calculator. We have 1200 minus 30. That gives us 1170. Okay, let's find the difference between 1170 and 1182. The reason why you find the difference is to know whether you can easily approximate on that same line, or if the data is close to the half of what the interval is, then you can pick the middle, or if it's very close to the other side. So let's see, 1170 minus 1182. The difference is 12. It's still close, so it means it's still going to be in the middle. So we have just come once, and then we try to come next again. Is it next? Okay, let's do it again, please. We have 1200 minus 30. That's 1170. This data is less than what is on the table, which means it has to be between this line and this line. That's here. Then the next thing is 100. 100, I think 100 should be very easy to locate on the table. If this is this is 100, and then we have 1253. 1253. So let's bring up our calculator. This is 1200. 1200 plus 30. That's 1230 plus another 30. That's 1260. Let's find the difference. 1260 is already more, so which means we have to shift back if at all the difference is able to be close to the middle. So if it's not close to the middle, it's either is closer to this point or is close to the next line. Then you give it there an approximation. 1260 minus, so it means we are coming back because this one is already above this. We have to come back, whatever we decide. Minus 1253. That's 7. 7 out of 30 is something that is not really right on. Okay, 7 out of 30 is not something we can put much consideration for like that. It's not close to the middle. It's not even up to 10, not to talk of getting to 15. So we can easily say that it is on that same line. It is on that same, because it's already above. Since it's above, then it's approximately on that line. So let's on the next line. Oh, let's count how many. 1200 plus 30 plus 30. Okay, on the second line. On the second line, that will be here. Then we have 200. 200 very easy to locate. This is 200 against 1399. That's approximately 1400, right? We have no, we don't have 1400 here. So let's see. 1399 is close to what? 1399 is close to, I think that is 1200. That's just almost in the middle. Let's quickly see what we're going to do. We have, this is 1200. Let's start adding 30 and see how many we're going to add in order to get to 1399. We have 1200 plus 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1380. We are close to 1399 now. 1380. Let's find the difference. Remember, we counted 6 minus 1399. 19. 19 is just close to the middle as well. It's not very close to 30 and it's not very less than 30. So we can say that 19 is also in the middle. So it's now in the middle of, is it between the 6th line and the 7th line, or between the 6th line and the 5th line? How do we know that? Let's quickly see. We have 6 of this something times 30 is equals to this, then plus 1200. Then the question is, this is 1380. Is it up to the data on the table? Is not. So which means you have to move to the middle of the sixth line, and the seventh line. And that will be here. This is the fifth line, this is the sixth line, this is the seventh line. Then we have 333 on this axis, 333. That will be close to 400. Let's quickly get to 400 and say 400 minus 20 equals to 380 minus 20 equals to 360 minus 20 equals to 340. Then let's find this is 340. Then okay, what's the difference? How many have I counted? I don't know. Let's do it again. We have 400 minus 30. Sorry, 400 minus 20, 1 minus 20, 2 minus 20, 3. So that's 3. And this data is above this data. So which means we are coming back, whatever we decide, after finding the difference. If the difference is close to the middle, we put it in the middle. If the difference is close to the other side, put it on the other side. If it's close to this place, we put it here. So let's see. Minus 340 minus 333. That's 7. 7 is close to the middle. So we pick the middle by just coming back after the third. I think that's 3. Please let me do it again. I have that's 400 minus 20, 1, 2, 3. So that's between, so we can say it's between 3, 3. That's between the second line and the third line. Between the second line and the third line. We have, okay, see here, coming down 1, 2, 3. Let's try to mark. Let's check it again. We have how many of them? We have 7. You can easily say 20 times 7 is equals to 140. This is 140. 140 plus 200. That's 340. This is already 340, so which means we are wrong. We have to bring it down here. So we have it here. And then we have 1439. 1439. That will be, let's look at the range. 1439. This is 1500. So we can easily see that we are going to be very close to this place. Let's just count like 8 times 30. Then let's add it to 1200. That's 1440. And this is 1439. Very, very accurate. It's the same value. That's on the 8th, right? 8 times 30 plus 1200. That's 1440. That's 1440. That's on the 8th line. The 8th line. Then we have 1000. This is here against 2358. 2358. This is 2100. This is 2400. So let's say, let's do a similar thing. We have, let's pick 7 times 30 plus 2100. That's 2310 plus 30. We are going to 8 like that. 2340. That's the 8th line. Let's find the difference and see how we move forward. Minus 2358. That's 18. 18 is also can be considered to be within the middle, is around 15. So which means between the 8th line and the 9th line. Let's see. 8th line and the 9th line. That's is 8, 9. That's 1000. So this is the establishment of your points in your graph. So after you might have done this, then you are going to draw your straight line that cut across as much point as you can pick. Okay, let's try this. So this is your graph. Then after plotting your graph, then you are going to establish your slope triangle lines. And that will be, and stop it here and use the remaining as dashed line. Then you label your axis. This is